Hello there. Following up Salim's post-match podcast from earlier in the day, um, being unable to watch the game as I had games of my own. And if there's one thing I really, really hate, it's having to watch a game that I know Liverpool are going to lose. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta suffer it. And I'd have to say that first half performance was suffering it yet again because same old Liverpool on repeat this season. Very, very poor first half performance with very little attacking intent. And predictably, and as we anticipated, Manchester United were at us from the first whistle, and they soon got success, with Cunha scoring following a corner when he had two bites of the cherry. And then a breakaway, Sesko adding a second, maybe some controversy. But look, to be honest with you, Liverpool could have been more than 2 goals down at the half. So not a great start, but a first half we have seen so many times over the course of this season under Arne Slot. And eventually, at some point in the first half, Liverpool do wrest control to some degree if it means having the ball. The only problem is the possession, the tippy-tappy possession, is very much in areas where Liverpool cannot really hurt the opposing team. And Manchester United, very happy to sit in, let Liverpool do that, and then if there's an error, if there's a chance, break on them. And again, I think the template was set very early in the season, and rinse and repeat. We see it week in, we see it week out. So Liverpool at the half, 2 goals down, as I say, could so easily have been more. Very, very little to get excited about from a Liverpool point of view. Manchester United keeping up the form, keeping up the kind of performances that they've seen since Michael Carrick took over at Old Trafford. Second half, everything seems to be going similar fashion until Dominic Szoboszlai picks up a stray pass in the midfield and then is allowed basically to waltz through the United defence and essentially just knock it into the bottom corner. I really don't know what United were doing at that point. And to make things even worse, a few minutes later, the keeper, deciding to build from the back, gives it to Alexis McAllister, and the ball's quickly transferred to Szoboszlai, to Gakpo, to an empty net. And talk about a gift-wrapped present. That was one for sure. So Liverpool are standing all of a sudden at 2-2. And I think we have to be honest and say it wasn't particularly because of anything that Liverpool did. Possibly Manchester United sat back a little bit more. Liverpool, did they pressure more? Possibly, but not to any great degree that I could see. And yet here they are 2-2. And for a while, maybe things were looking as though it could go Liverpool's way. But as so often is the case, gradually they begin to sit back, sit in a little bit. And Manchester United eventually do get a third goal. There's nobody really in the right back position, which has been a problem this year. The ball is crossed in by, I believe, Shaw. There's something at the far post. McAllister doesn't do a great job of clearing the ball, and it falls to Kobbie Mainoo on the edge of the box. And to be fair, it was a very good finish, but maybe from our point of view, not the best defensively. And the same old errors, which again have cropped up time and again this season. So Liverpool end losing 3-2. First time that Manchester United has got a double over Liverpool for 10 years. So from a Manchester United point of view, that's maybe a cherry on the cake on the day that they guarantee Champions League qualification for next year. And it seems, even though that this is a setback for Liverpool, with 3 tough games ahead against teams that are in contention, Liverpool should still be able to do enough to qualify once again for the Champions League, although in some ways you have to say that it can't be an ironclad guarantee. So another disappointing Liverpool performance, and one we have seen many, many times before. So Manchester United fans will be happy. Credit to Carrick, as I say. I think if they're being honest, I think they'll know that it's not a great United team yet, but they are moving in the right direction. They certainly have talent up front. But as I think we saw in the second half, when put under pressure, and even not under a great deal of pressure, they are equally as vulnerable as Liverpool are. But what's concerning is that as Manchester United moves forward in a positive direction, the fall off from Liverpool from a year ago is really quite alarming. And it's tough to see how under the current leadership that is going to change, because Liverpool are just missing so many basics that have been fundamentally part of what they've been about for many years now. So there's not the same energy, there's not the same intensity, there's not the same attacking intent. And these were all characteristics of, certainly Slot's predecessor and his teams. So I believe it's Chelsea up next. Chelsea's fallen off pace, but they still have a chance of making it to the Champions League. So that'll be next weekend at Anfield. And I haven't looked at my schedule of games for next week. Hopefully it's a game that I can watch live, and hopefully at the end, Salim and I will be able to talk about the game together. So that's where we stand. Liverpool falls behind Manchester United. I think it's a 6-point gap now. United are third in the table. Liverpool are fourth, but still with an 8-point gap to the next team, which has become Bournemouth this weekend. So, yeah, week for Arne Slot to try and turn things around. Will he? I wouldn't bet on it, but he certainly has enough time. So until then, see you next week, as I say, hopefully with Salim, and hopefully something more optimistic to record. You'll never walk alone, everyone. Good night, Liverpool fans.